inline skating. Aussies win both inline events and a total of 4 events overall here at the game.
Thanks, Keith. CJ is obviously one of the crowd favorites, wearing a great-looking Hawaiian shirt today.
CJ Wellsmore is certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with when he gets a little muscle and strength.
For over 20 years now, I've been traveling the world and competing through skating, experiencing all that this life has to offer. To think that it's all come from this desire just to have skates on my feet. Even now, after 25 years, it's like I'm a kid every time I put skates on. That feeling of freedom, it's kind of out of this world. It's like this explosive energy that flows through your body. It's definitely addiction for me, the feeling that skating gives me. And chasing that feeling has now shaped my entire life. The life I live today definitely was shaped from the upbringing I had from my parents. They would always try and choose the path that's more exciting, the unknown, definitely living in the now. Growing up, I didn't really think too much of it, but I realize now that they were the ones that gave me an appreciation for travel.
Excellent.
My mum was definitely open to giving me freedom. And over the years, I realized that my mum was my #1 supporter.
There's so much stuff here. So much stuff. This is on the snow where he's a tiny little tucker because he was too young to have stocks. So he would just do the racing snowplow all the way down. He'd fall over, grab him by the collar, stand him up on his little pins, and off he goes again.
It's kind of funny when I tell people where I'm from. They're baffled because they don't think we've got snow in Australia. But growing up, I was pretty lucky because my dad had a ski shop at the base of the mountains. And so apparently I was able to ski before I could walk.
Here he comes, 100 miles an hour.
It was pretty amazing just being able to go wild on these mountains at such a young age. Everything that we wanted to do, my parents were super supportive.
They don't come any younger than CJ Wellsmore. He's competing in today's Winter Extreme Games.
The whole reason I found skating is because of the upbringing skiing. And so when my parents moved away from the mountains to the city, my brother and I needed an outlet to pretend that we were skiing. And I guess that's where it all started. My mum would get home from night shift at 7 in the morning and drive me down to the park, and I'd be here until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. When they opened Tuggeranong Skate Park, I would have been only 9 years old. That was my second home. I reckon I could ride this park with my eyes closed. Like if I close my eyes, I picture every single bit where every crack is. Yeah, man, I know it all. I saw you looking over here.
first in straight and first invert.
Having Tuggeranong Skate Park definitely was the foundation for my skating today. Using big transitions and boosting around, it really is the reason why I skate the way I skate. Time to hit the road. Dun-dun-dun. So I moved to Narooma when I was about 13 until I was about 16. But when I first moved here, there was like a crew of 15 rollerbladers. But there's only so much you can do in a tiny little town. For a couple of years there, I stopped blading and started getting into surfing and fishing. The 3 or 4 years that I was there, it was fun for sure. It was something different. But it was a hard thing to swallow at the time because all I wanted to do was skate. I mean, there's a tiny little skate park in town. It's not that amazing, and that's with the extension, as you kind of get over it. When I came back to blading, the tricks that were being done were so far more developed. It was as if I was seeing it for the first time again, and it reignited my passion for blading instantly. So that was the beginning of the new chapter for me.
Put him in first place, and here it goes. Whoa! Whoa! CJ way up there, going for it. And
going full speed in the corner here on top of the course in 450.
we can see what's gonna happen.
Competition skating for me, the pressure, the excitement, it's something that I can't get enough of. And my mum makes jokes about it that I would always say, "You watch, Mum, I'm going to be the best in the world." Winter Clash, 2014. Blading Cup, also 2014. Good year. But now when I look back on what my life was like, being abroad, traveling around 9 months of the year, to live this lifestyle, you have to sacrifice a few things. And so you don't get the luxuries of owning a house and driving a nice car. And in the last 2 years, I've noticed all these friends that I have settle down into this new chapter of life with kids and families and successful careers outside of skating. And it's a big thing that plays on my mind constantly now. You know, where do I go next? What direction do I take? Because all I know is skating. started. Backcountry. No man's land. I've always been fascinated about my family history. My father would tell me stories about the pioneers of the Snowy Mountains. My family being some of the first European settlers in the high country.
I reckon this is where Banjo Patterson wrote the poem, because this is where the pine-clad ridges rise their tall and rugged battlements on high, and this is where it is, I believe.
Thomas Wellsmore, he
Well, he was Wellsmore. He came out here in 1824, I think. He was only 20 years of age.
Right.
But him and another fella decided to rob a house, and they sentenced him to hang, but they commuted it to 20 years in the colony out here. He had 11 years as a convict, and he had 3 children, but they must have had some sort of a feeling for the mountains because they moved this way in 1890.
I really feel at home when I come back through here. Just to think about the history. My great-great-grandfathers that would ride through these rocky mountains, down through the creeks. Thomas Wellsmore, who came out here as a convict, who had nothing. It just makes me so proud that my roots come from this part of the world. It's been a struggle, but I feel like I've seen a full circle and rollerblading is becoming alive again. The resurgence of blading, the community that surrounds it, the love, the family that we have. All walks of life come together into this community. You know, that feeling, I don't think it leaves any of us. Of course, I would love to be financially a little bit more stable, but I didn't get into it for those reasons. I didn't get into skating to live that life.